Hello everyone, my name is Omosivia Maduka and I'm your Quali-Health Doctor. This episode is still in the series Mental Health, and specifically we'll be talking about the health effects of drug abuse. A lot of people use drugs because it gives them a certain feeling of euphoria, of power, of being undefeatable, of being excited and strong. And the reason this happens is that irrespective of the kind of drug that the person is taking, those drugs go and affect the way the brain produces a chemical called dopamine. What dopamine does is that it releases in large quantities throughout the body and is what is responsible for that emotional high, that feeling of euphoria, that extreme excitement, feeling of power and greatness. This can also be accompanied, depending on the kind of drug that the person is taking, accompanied by hallucinations, hearing, seeing, and even smelling things that really do not exist. So in the short term, people see this as a benefit for drug abuse. They feel that it makes them excited, it makes them high and all of that. But what happens over time is that these drugs go to short circuit the normal functioning of the brain. And so the person loses inhibition, can take off his clothes at any time, say whatever he wants to say at whatever point in time. The person loses self-control, loses a sense of what is right and what is wrong. Judgment is impaired. Even consciousness is impaired, and they have things like blackouts or loss of consciousness for some time. The other thing is that addiction and dependence comes into play because the body needs more and more exposure to that drug in order to maintain that high. So the person is almost under compulsion to keep taking those drugs. And if those drugs are not available, what happens is withdrawal symptoms set in. The person can be shaking all over, can have seizures, can be sweating profusely, heart is racing, pulse is racing. The person feels he or she will literally die if he's not able to get a fix, get another dose of that drug into the body. And over time, drug abuse also affects the person's physical health. But before I talk about that, now, drug abuse leads to paranoia. That's just that feeling that somebody is after you, you think people are chasing you, there's a conspiracy theory against you. It leads to aggressive behavior. It leads to sexual promiscuity and a loss of inhibition in that area. People take drugs and drive under the influence and get into accidents. People take drugs as a way of wanting to go and fight someone and end up causing severe harm, including killing people and committing crimes and all of that. It can also lead to a negative effect on the cardiovascular system. The heart and the blood vessels will no longer function properly. It can damage the liver, damage the kidney. It can literally damage every aspect of the body. Somebody can even take an excess of the drug in very high doses and overdose on it, and the body shuts down immediately. So there is no benefit for drug abuse in any way whatsoever. Whatever high you get is temporary, but the low will be a very terrible situation for you, and it's something that we need to say very clearly. Please say no to drug abuse. Thank you very much. Before we end today's episode, I'd like to read to you from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself, for God bought you with a great price, so you must honor God with your body. Thank you very much for watching. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to these videos. I'll see you next time.